Guys, it's Busmaster99 coming at you with I think the second to last video, if not the last video of 2017. So you saw my previous two videos about the suspension on the Mousemobile. Well, I think I might know what the problem is. It's either a leak in one of the front struts or the compressor is toast. And if it's a leak, then that means the compressor's fine, but that it's overheating. I know it's probably not too well lit. Excuse me for a second. Well, I turned the garage door light on, so it's a little better, but not too much. This light's burned out, so I got to get that replaced. So as you can see here, this is the connector to one of my front air struts, and there's another one adjacent to it. Someone in the comments on one of my suspension problems videos was very helpful and provided a link to a $1,000 suspension conversion kit to coil springs, because after doing some research, I determined that Jaguar really did not need to put air ride on this car, because on the 2003 and older models, they did not have air ride suspension. Don't know why they started putting air ride on the 2004s and up, because the air suspension is claiming the lives of more XJs every year. And mine better not be next. And it's not going to be next. I might be converting the suspension to a regular spring suspension system, because this car isn't that heavy, so it really doesn't need the air ride. Unlike the Mercedes S-Class, which is a lot heavier than this. So that's why it uses air ride suspension, or Airmatic, as Mercedes-Benz calls it. This air ride suspension is called CATS, or capital C-A-T-S, whatever you want to say it as. It's a fully automatic suspension system, so that means there's no button to manually lift or lower the suspension like you would find in a Mercedes or a Range Rover or a BMW 7 Series or whatever. You get the point. There's no way to adjust the suspension, not even in the newer XJs. So Jaguar just doesn't like the idea of manually controlling the suspension, but they don't seem to mind putting those buttons on the Range Rovers. Oh well. Gotta have some priorities in order. Guess that's why the new XJ is only 75 grand. Compared to 90 grand for an S-Class. It's very nice inside, has less than 120K on the clock. I bought it with 102K. So that means I've put 17,000 miles on it. So this is going to be worked on in the workshop on the same day that I turn 19 years old. So my birthday is January 4th, so that means we're going to take the car on Wednesday to the shop. They're going to work on it on Thursday, and then I'll have the car back that day. But the problem is I go back to school on the 2nd, so day after New Year's. I'm right back at it. So until then, I'm going to drive this car, my dad's Honda Pilot. And my dad's going to be home all week. He'll go back to work on January 8th, the same day my brother goes back to high school. Look at how dirty my parents' cars are. And mine isn't nearly as dirty because I haven't been able to drive it. Because I can't go out for more than 20 minutes or I'll get the suspension fault and the vehicle too low, double whammy. Yeah. So if that happens on my way to the workshop, I'm going to have to call a tow truck. Which is no big deal. I can afford a $65 tow and make tons more money on YouTube anyway. Can't disclose it though, but just look at the details with that black dead mouse sticker I put on the trunk. I really think every XJ should have a customization to it to make it special. Because without these badges here, I mean, it just doesn't look all that good. It looks boring. Whereas with the Mouse Mobile stickers and the engine indicator, I think it looks a hell of a lot cooler. So anyway, one thing I forgot to show you is I did get more LEDs for Christmas. Notice something different? It's the parking lights. I changed out the stock parking light bulbs for LEDs. I wish I could have done the same with the license plate lights because they actually need to be replaced. Both of my license plate lights are out. But of course, what does it matter now that the car is only worth $3,000? Poor thing. Oh well, and plus I was told it is not illegal to have license plate lights out. I've never seen anyone get pulled over for it. Nothing. That's a satisfying thunk. Oh, that was noise from outside. I thought it was the suspension doing something. Well, just thought I'd make this update video for you guys. I might be ditching the air ride system completely and going for a spring suspension like on my parents' cars. Both the Honda Pilot and the Mercedes GLC don't have air ride. And that also brings me to my next point. I will never buy another vehicle with air ride unless I have enough money saved up for my dream car, which is a 2014 Mercedes S550. Because I remember when I was a freshman in high school, so over 4 years ago, actually it was 4 years ago, going on 5 next year at this time, I got to sit in a brand new Mercedes S-Class in November. So 2 months after it was released in the US. And that car just wowed me. And that was before I had a YouTube account, so I couldn't share it with the world. But the sales guy who had the same name as me, who no longer works for Mercedes-Benz in Naperville because they unfortunately let him off, which is, I think, MB of Naperville's biggest mistake because it's gone downhill since they let him off. But anyway, let's not get too off topic. He was showing me some of the new features of the Mercedes S-Class compared to the 2013 and older models. And I just thought, wow, this car is a time machine. And so then I thought, I have to have one of these in the future. So I've decided, whenever that is, even if it's like 6 or whatever amount of years from now, I will have a 2014 S550 in my garage, but I won't drive it every day because I got to sit in the new 2018 Mercedes S450 not too long ago, and I decided this car is so nice, it's a sin to drive one every day. Because there are like over 100 electric motors in the car. If one goes wrong, it just pisses you off, and then you have to spend a fortune to repair it, unless it's under warranty, which of course the 2014 will not be in the far future. But anyway, what I'm saying is I will not drive the S-Class every day, but I'll have a separate car which will be a daily driver, most likely a Ford Fusion or something of the like, maybe a Toyota Camry. I mean, I think the Fusion's a good car because I watch Auto Vlogs videos. He loves his 2015 or 2016 Fusion to death. I forgot his model year, but he loves it. In fact, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So that's what I like to see from a daily driver, is something that can put up to abuse, just like a Honda or a Toyota, but it's a Ford. And People used to think Ford found on road dead. Well, not anymore, at least not the newer cars. So yeah, I might look into that for the future. 2014 S550 as the non-daily driver. I'd drive it like once every week or so. And a Ford Fusion, which I would drive every day. Hence daily driver. So my requirements for daily driver is it has to be reliable, fuel efficient, and dependable. Which may be the same as reliable, but at this point, who cares? So anyway, guys, that's all for now. Peace out. Hope everyone has a happy new year.